Time now for the Daily Answer, sponsored by Salem Surround on The Answer Now TV.
Mike Gallagher. Every day, Mike visits with Mark Davis, morning host on 660 AM The Answer in Dallas. Here's today's M&M Experience.
Let's look at the mechanics of this shutdown for just a moment. Because, look, make no mistake, Democrats got nothing out of it. They got absolutely nothing. 60 to 40 vote. By the way, glad John Cornyn finally showed up. What was he doing?
He was well, you'll understand this. He was delayed at Dulles.
I believe it.
There you go.
So, well, I hate it, but so he was delayed at Dulles. He got there at the last minute, late in the night, 60 to 40. 8 of them crossing the aisle, 8 of them breaking ranks, 8 of them going off the reservation. So let me get this straight. What we've been saying all along is true. Because they were demanding the end of the shutdown. The Democrats were saying end the shutdown. Well, guess what? Thanks to 8 of your side, you did. And nothing changed. So, does that mean, Mark, that this was all just politically motivated to get them across the finish line last Tuesday?
100%. 100%.
It proves it.
Yep.
This proves it. 8 of those, and I'm going to give them credit because you got to give credit where credit is due, but let's acknowledge the reality here. What they said was, okay, we got our wins on Tuesday. Now it's time to just, fold the tent, cave, and they did cave. We'll give the Republicans what they want. We're not going to Republicans weren't going to budge an inch on extending the Obamacare subsidies.
Nope.
Non-starter. You can't give health care benefits to illegals anymore. Forget it. It's over. And so, we were right all along. They're craving. They wanted people to suffer, and people have been hurting. But that's the point, right, Mark? Isn't the cruelty the point?
It's what they wanted to exact. The people who think they're going to win a shutdown. It's kind of funny because Republicans didn't want people to hurt when for that delicious 3 or 4 weeks where we thought we were winning the shutdown. We thought there were valuable lessons in the shutdown, but we wanted the Democrats to bend so that we could go ahead and reopen the government and learn those lessons that Obamacare is a Ponzi scheme and a whole lot of government is non-essential. Those are the lessons of the shutdown, but it didn't mean that you wanted it or craved it or wanted these people, especially the air traffic controllers, the military, for various people, the TSA folks to go without paychecks. But a lot of times people, like when during Obama, when they were shutting down things for tourists, shutting down national parks, shutting down things that would make people, that would hurt their vacations, hurt their quality of life. It's what they wanted to do to weaponize it.
Well, I'm so excited about the way things are going forward, and I'm also excited about a little bit of a tone change in Mark Davis. My buddy Mark Davis, I think, is shifting positions a little bit.
Oh, on what?
On the filibuster.
100%.
Yep.
But here's the funny thing. I'm a pendulum. We are all pendulum. We're
pendulum.
I'm a ping pong guy. For the longest time. I said, what's this 60? It's arbitrary. That's stupid. 51 for everything. Then I allowed myself, and I hope this is part of my charm, to entertain another side. And there were people whom I really like Rand Paul and various others whom I like 90% of the time, who said, be careful. Democrats are so treacherous. Their ideas are so bad that we'll be glad we have the filibuster next time they have a majority, and this momentary frustration is not worth it. I said, okay, Democrats are indeed treacherous at times, are indeed sinister. Okay, and I began to tolerate the filibuster, and that lasted about a week. Then I thought, how does that feel strong? Does that feel confident? You know what feels strong and confident and Trump-like and MAGA-like and just, makes you feel like you got the wind in your sails? Get rid of the filibuster, pass the Trump agenda unapologetically, watch the public love it, and that way the Democrats will not win that majority that we fear so much.
Well, there's an easy litmus test. It's real simple. I watched Senator John Kennedy the other night on Laura Ingraham say that there is not a doubt in his mind that if the Democrats get into power, they're going to nuke the filibuster.
Anyway,
and they're going to pack the court. Okay, yes. All right. But then he went on to say, but I'm not really comfortable with nuking the filibuster. Wait a minute. And I love the guy. But wait a minute. If you think they're going to nuke it anyway,
right, then why not?
then you got to be first at it. You got to do it now. And you enact the legislation so that Trump can do a whole bunch of sweeping, broad legislative acts that bring prices down, that make things more affordable, which is what everything seems to be about these days, and which is fine. And get this, no more mail-in ballots, no more machines, strengthen election integrity, get stuff done that you want to get done, and watch them never win another election. That's the way you have to do it. It doesn't, Hugh Hewitt and I got into a little tiff the other day because he said, it's political suicide. Terrible thing. What's political suicide? Beating them to the punch? If you know they're going to... Mark, help me understand that. Pretend to be Hugh Hewitt for a moment. Be an establishment Republican. And I say that with love. I don't say that to put him down.
I understand. I can channel these. I can channel these people sometimes.
So you channel this. You tell me, if you know they're going to nuke it anyway, how in the world do you argue not against not nuking it now?
The establishment Republican position on that is it's too bold, it's too spicy, it's too risky, it's too Trumpy, it's too energetic, it's too MAGA, and it's just too it's too strong. The establishment thing is go along to get along. John McCain, Mitt Romney, Paul Ryan, go along to get along. 2 yards in a cloud of dust, and Trump is bombs away, baby. Let's go.
No. And see, I think you just nailed it, and you said it in your list there. I think these are folks that don't want the Trump agenda to succeed. I hate to say it. I hate to be this cynical, but I wonder if they really are on board with the MAGA agenda. I don't think they are, Mark. I don't know how you can be on board and then say, well, we don't want to upset the apple cart too much.
I know.
No, we know they're going to do it anyway when they get in power, but we shouldn't be the ones to do it. Let's just let them. Let's let them roll us again.
Yeah.
Let's let them steamroll us one more time. No, I really just worry about it. But after in the mood I'm in today, and after the weekend I had, let me just share with you. You and I had the M&M experience on stage in Grapevine a couple years ago. It was one of the greatest nights I've had in a long time. Saturday, hundreds of listeners to our Chicago affiliate at the Hyatt over in Itasca, Illinois. Gosh, it was so wonderful. I got to hang out with Scott Jennings. And incidentally, he's as terrific a guy in person as he is in front of a camera or a microphone.
The warrior who embarrasses liberals on CNN every day is ours. His show can be heard afternoons on all of our stations.
He's tremendous. And Dr. Ben Carson was there. And, of course, the local hosts, Sean Thompson, Dan Proft. But what a bunch of love in the room, and a bunch of people who believe that our best times are ahead of us, that Trump is right on just about everything. They're optimistic. They're confident. They love what we do. Lot of M&M experience fans in Chicago, Mark. And I just feel so great and so blessed to be able to do this every day and kick off my mornings with you at 7:35.
Then do you know what? I'm going to take our last 60 seconds. I'm going to make you feel even better because you talked about the courtroom victories, various vindications of Trump. Are you aware of the one that comes from across the pond out of the BBC?
I am. In fact, I watched Brian Stelter's coverage of it last night. I'll take 30 seconds. Wait till you hear what he said.
Is he all right? Well, then the story is that the Director General, Tim Davie, and CEO of BBC, Deborah Turnus, turned in their resignations after backlash about a documentary where they spliced Trump's January 6th morning speech comments together to make it look like he was advocating violence. It was a damnable lie. A ton of people did it. It's almost as if a talk show buddy of mine plays a cut all the time that contains the peacefully and patriotically. Who is that guy? Oh, yeah, it's Mike Gallagher. Well, they wanted no part of that. It was a fraudulent edit, and they got stung for it.
Download the podcast and hear all of Mike and Mark's conversations at MikeOnline.com for the M&M Experience.
The M&M Experience. Subscribe to the Mike Gallagher Show podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day. Be safe. Keep fighting the good fight. I'm Mike Gallagher. God bless America.
Stay informed anytime, anywhere with the Salem News Channel and 9:30 a.m. TheAnswer.com. This has been The Daily Answer, sponsored by Salem Surround on The Answer Now TV.